Alright, can you both see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we are.
Alright, welcome to a new video audience. We are doing a cosmology tier list today. So, cosmologies are ways that people have explained in the past how the universe originated and also like how it's organized. So you can see here I've got a bunch of different cosmologies and we are going to rank them on this tier list here with with my friends in the voice channel, Kokori and Thomas Milk.
Ah, yeah, Thomas. Yeah, that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the
yeah.
tiers first. We have top tier at the very top for, the most interesting ones, the most thought-provoking, profound kind of. And then below that we have interesting. So not as good as top tier, but still pretty good. Then you've got just okay, so sort of in the middle, and boring, where it's like, well, this doesn't really mean much. It's not very thought-provoking. You can think about it for about like 5 minutes and then you're done. And then at the bottom is don't think about it. So this is a very special tier for if there are too many loopholes or contradictions, or there is something, if you think about it too hard, you'll realize it is actually sort of like more of a hell than, and you don't want to live in this universe. That's what the don't think about it tier is for.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's very interesting. Yeah, let's jump into it.
Let's just jump right into it, right? Okay, so the first one we've got is
Let's go.
atheism. Atheism, it's like
Boring or don't think about it. That's what I'm trying to think. Boring or don't think about it. That's what I think.
all right. So atheism is like, the current explanations for the universe. We're all just chemical reactions. There was the Big Bang that created the universe, and there is no God. Things like that. What do you think about it, Sam?
As a liberal soy cuck who browses r/teenagers, even though I'm 25,
That's
I
crazy.
absolutely put atheism in top tier.
In top tier. Okay, so go one for top tier, one for boring or don't think about it. Myself, I think that it can be very interesting when you look at it, but ultimately, like, comparing it to the other ones here, especially if you're doing something on a philosophical scale, like, you gotta put it in boring.
Yeah.
If you're talking scientifically, this is the most interesting.
It's
But
lame.
if you're talking philosophically, there really isn't that much philosophy in it. As you sort of like,
Exactly.
you make your own meaning or whatever. Alright. Okay, I'm glad we could get that one done. Next up, creator creation. So I've used that, I think Michelangelo made that painting where it's like God touching Adam.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the universe where there is a creator and he made the universe, or he, she, it, whatever, and the creator is separate from its creation, like completely separate. The creator could live without
Oh,
the creation.
so like Christianity and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Christianity. Yep.
Ah.
I would,
Like
I'd put it in
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I'd put it in okay.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
put it in okay tier as well. I reckon there's some stuff there. It really depends on what the creator is like. You know,
Yeah.
it's all right. It'd be pretty interesting, but at the same time, compared to the other ones, it's going to be just okay tier. All right.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Gnosticism. All right. Now this one's a favorite of paranormal people these days. So it is very similar to the belief of creator creation, but the creator is not. First of all, the creator is what we call a demiurge, right? He is not at the top of his hierarchy, and there are more powerful like beings. So the creator of our universe is not the strongest thing outside of our universe. That's the first like thing about Gnosticism. The second,
Right.
yeah, the second thing is this creator is not necessarily good, and the world that we live in, the universe that we live in, could be considered a trap. Like they call it the material trap sometimes if you talk to Gnostics. So they want to really escape it.
So could the Gnostic being or demagogue or whatever it's called, could that be like a trilobite?
It could be a trilobite. Usually it's depicted as it is in this small photo here. So it's sort of like a snake with a lion's head.
Yeah.
That's the classic symbol for it.
Like, all right.
And the goal of Gnostics is to escape this universe and go into the pleroma, which is like a, sort of like an ideal realm.
Yeah.
I don't really have a side on this one,
Interesting, but
so
not top tier.
I'll give it, I'll give my vote over to one of you folks. I'll let you decide.
I'd put it in interesting as well, not top tier.
Interesting, not top tier.
I think yeah,
Interesting.
Very good.
it's playing with ideas a bit. Now I think this one is. I'm gonna guess, Kokori. This one must be a personal favorite of yours. All right. The text isn't fully shown.
Dualism.
Dualism. Yep, that's right. Would you like to explain it to us?
Oh, this is basically like two sides like clashing with each other. This is like, think of like Taoism and how like yin and yang and how it proceeds to balance in the middle.
Yeah, and like so
Yeah.
it's like two opposing forces that are clashing with each other. And they're like the big forces in the universe. Another really good example of this is Zoroastrianism, that religion. So that's a really ancient example of dualism. They have like one really big good god, and then they have a really evil god as well. And it's like creation and destruction, and it's those like opposing themes.
I
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool. I'd put that in interesting.
I'd put that in interesting as well.
Yeah.
I'd say top tier, but like
Okay.
I said, personal bias.
I'd put,
Like you guys said,
I'd
personal
put it
bias.
above Gnosticism then, at least.
Yeah, definitely above Gnosticism.
Yeah.
Augurs.
All right. Next up, reincarnation. So
I like reincarnation. I want to be like a ladybug.
You know what? I'm actually gonna put it in. Well, if I had my vote on it, I would put it in. Don't think about it. I want you to both convince me that this is something that is very interesting instead, unless you don't believe it.
Ooh.
Think about it like this. You spend your miserable little life in some backwater peasantry in Poland or something in the Middle Ages.
Working all your days.
Yeah,
Working
working
like
all your
the
days,
hours
tilling
of
the land,
day.
only to get fucking the pox and die when you're 14.
Exactly.
Then you get reincarnated as a beautiful swan who lives in the Grand Lake outside a palace. And every day the princes and princesses, they come down to that lake and they fucking feed you the finest goddamn bread you've ever ding-dang had. And now you tell me, you look me dead in the eye and you say you don't want that.
No, I don't want that. I don't want to live forever. That'd suck if you think about it.
Oh, nah.
You could always opt out of it though.
You can opt out of it.
That's the thing. Yeah.
If you can opt out of it, I would put it in okay tier. Very promising. I think it is also used sometimes
Very,
to sort
very
of justify
promising.
living a shitty life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would still put it in okay tier. Where would you both put it?
I'd put it in. I probably wouldn't put it in
I
top tier.
did
so
say
I'd
top
give it
tier.
interesting.
I did say top tier, but I'd say interesting though.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll put it here. Now let me just check that everything.
Below Gnosticism.
Yeah. All right.
But like definitely interesting.
Next up, we have got Indra's net. All right. Now this one is pretty interesting. Okay, so
Ooh.
Indra is
I know
a
nothing about
deity
this.
in Hinduism, right? And
Right.
in Indra's domain, there is this is sort of like a concept they explain. There is a net, and it is infinitely large. And on this net, there are, of course, like infinitely many jewels, right?
Right.
And so every single jewel reflects every single other jewel in the net. Like, just because they're really shiny, you know?
Right.
Where you're
And-
going with this magic, man.
Yeah, and when they're reflecting every other single jewel, you can also see in those reflections, those other jewels are also reflecting every other jewel, right?
Right.
And
Sure.
so that just repeats infinitely. And what that is that's supposed to be a representation of the universe. Yeah? So it's
Alright.
Okay.
so it's like the jewels are all their own like worlds, I guess. And
Like planets and stuff like that.
I wouldn't say planets, more like universes itself.
Oh. Okay.
And
Okay.
the
Okay.
reflections are all of like the different perspectives inside of it. And so with it,
Huh.
like this analogy
That
explains like infinite possibilities.
that's definitely interesting. I put it above Gnosticism.
I'd put it in top tier if you ask me.
Above Gnosticism. Nah.
You'd put it
Above
here?
Gnosticism at least. Yeah.
All right.
In the middle between Gnosticism and dualism.
Okay. All right. Next up, this one got cropped out a little bit, but it's supposed to be Kabla. All right. So this
Ooh.
is this belief that there is like, how do I put this? God is
Is this like a Jew thing?
yes, it is a Jew thing.
Yes, it is.
God is the source of like absolutely everything, and everything sort of like manifests from him in different layers, right?
Yeah.
And we have these. I cannot understand much of this, and I mean, it's very difficult for people who are not Jewish, like myself, to understand much of this.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah, everything sort of manifests in different layers, and you can classify those layers by using this little diagram here that's cropped out. I would put this
That's-
right in OK tier, if you were to ask me. But then
Yeah.
again, I couldn't really give a good explanation on it, so perhaps we would have to put it somewhere else.
I'd say put it in interesting, kind of like where Indra's net is. Probably. Maybe.
You reckon here?
Yeah.
Putting a lot in
Probably there.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'd put it in like okay. I
I'd put it
guess.
in OK as well. I'd put it right here.
Above creator creation.
You reckon?
So
Alright,
yeah.
let's put it there. That's fair. Alright, this one got cropped out again, but it is many worlds. Now, this one's also a little bit
Ooh.
scientific, you know?
Yeah.
Still, it has its roots in philosophy. It's basically saying that every time anyone gets to make a choice, a different number of worlds are created for like however
Oh,
many choices
parallel
they have.
universes and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so there are like
Yeah.
infinitely many different
Oh.
timelines where like anything like could happen in them.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
This is
put that, like,
basically
right
what
up.
atheism wants to be. This is what atheism wants to
Yeah,
be.
this is like
I swear.
I'd put it
Yeah,
right in
I'd
top
put
tier. I
that
just
in
really
top
like
tier.
this one.
Above dualism. Above dualism.
All right, let's put it in top tier because that is above dualism.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd give it up there.
Yeah, it is cool. Simulation theory. Let's talk about simulation theory.
Oh, that's another top tier.
You reckon? I would put it in
Yeah.
just okay or boring, in my opinion.
I mean,
So for those viewers,
Matrix though.
for those viewers who need
Nah,
to know,
chuck it in okay.
who is that?
That's the mysterious viewer.
It's
Oh, it's
What
Throwtech.
the
What's
heck?
up, Throwtech?
thrower tech man.
Oh, nothing much. I say chuck it in okay. It's basically a more
Yeah.
sci-fi version of creationism.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not wrong.
that's a very good way to look at it because I mean, in creation, right? The creation would also have to be a simulation because the creator exists outside of it. In simulation
Yeah.
theory, the creator is just like aliens or some really advanced humans or robots or something instead of a deity. So they're pretty much interchangeable in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel it's
You're
kind of been a
right.
bit overplayed, just in
Yeah.
popular media and all that.
And they're
so-
always saying like, "What if we're in a simulation?" But like, you can also say, you know, "What if we have a creator?" It's like the same kind of thing, right? So these two
Yeah.
are interchangeable in my opinion.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just imagine one day somebody getting cheat codes though.
That'd be cool.
That's bonkers.
Yeah.
That'd be 9001 Galaxy Brain.
All right, so we have 6 left. Monism. So this one is basically the belief that everything is actually just like one big thing. Honestly, if it were up to me, I would straight up just like slam dunk it right into don't think about it. But I want to hear all of your opinions.
I don't get it. Can you explain it again?
I think the same thing.
So monism is basically this belief that everything is just one thing, right? And on the outside, it sounds kind of like it sounds a bit comforting, you know. But then there are also talks about like everyone's consciousness and whatever is also just one big thing, which means that the end fate of everyone is just like one massive hive mind. You know, you ever watched Evangelion?
Yeah.
Which is why
No.
I would put it in don't think about it. It's very comforting for people who don't really value
just
their
believe it.
individuality and whatever, but yeah, definitely don't think about it for me. What do you guys think?
Don't think about it. Do not think
Yeah, it's
about
kind of
it.
boring. Like, don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it.
All right, next up is
It's like flat Earth.
Flat Earth. I should have included that
Yeah.
in this. Number universe.
I forgot to say that.
So, number universe is basically this belief that everything in the universe can be explained with like mathematics and the presence of like patterns in numbers, right?
That's intriguing.
It is intriguing.
I'd chuck it in like top tier part of okay,
Top tier part of okay.
like just above that little diagram
I would put it here.
I'd
or here.
probably say
Above atheism.
above atheism. Yeah, above atheism.
Yeah, because like
thing. All right, yeah, okay, I can see that.
everything
I'm
we're
like,
doing.
I'm just kind of seeing it from like the point where like, you know how like
Yeah.
you see like math videos on YouTube, like with
No, this is
potassium
like
and
somebody
stuff like
playing
that.
with an abacus for the first time.
Yeah, I agree with Kokori on
This
this.
is
It's
literally the belief of somebody playing with an abacus for the first time. Like, chill out.
like, yeah, it's whenever we think about numbers, we're always thinking in what's called like base 10, right? Because we have like 10 fingers.
Yeah.
So all of the patterns we see are just in base 10. We don't know if the universe was meant to be coded that way. Like, what about dogs or whatever? They have like 4 toes on each. Don't quote me on that. Another
What
animal
the
has
fuck?
like they could count in base 8 because maybe they have only like 4 toes on each paw or something dumb like that, right? So we have a very specific way of counting and a very specific way of maths that we are. I think it can be used to explain the universe, but the universe isn't like built around the maths. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Not really. You
It
kind of
will
lost
make
me very
sense.
early in that.
All right, sorry. I'll try and
I don't
explain
really
it
care.
again. Basically, like
No, just put it wherever you want.
No,
Alright,
just
okay.
just put it above atheism. Just
all right. This one is, you know what? I'm gonna say it's a fairly recent belief in the sense that like it recently became very popular. So you can't read the text there, but it says reality shifting, right?
oh, so like law of attraction?
Yeah, basically, it's basically saying it's part of many worlds, but it's saying like you can change which world you live in if you think really hard. I would say it's sort of like
Above Kabbalah. Above Kabbalah. It's
That's-
alright.
yeah, that's where I'd put it as well. I don't know. It
It's
doesn't have
alright.
the
Yeah,
same
it's just,
appeal as
like,
many worlds
dreaming
because
with extra steps.
yeah, exactly. It's very very escapist.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, timeless universe. So some of these concepts can also be applied into other ones, right? Like reincarnation can also exist in a creator creation universe.
Right.
Timeless universe is sort of also the case for this. So this is saying basically the universe never had a beginning or an end. It just always was there, right?
Right.
Right.
And it's compatible with anything else. What do we think about this?
Don't think about it.
I don't think
Like-
about it.
I think it's pretty.
Like,
Why don't you want to think about it, Kokori?
cause it can just be overlaid with like anything. Like,
Okay.
doesn't really have like its own base, if you will. Doesn't have
Right.
anything to stand on.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. All right. We can put it there if you want. Next up is eternal recurrence. So this was made by that like really famous German philosopher. I think it's Nietzsche. And he said basically that everything is in a massive time loop. And everything that has happened will happen again. Now, whether he meant that like symbolically, like as in like, you know, fashion trends will repeat or whatever, or whether he meant it literally like we are stuck in a time loop, we don't know, right?
Well, if it's that ambiguous, then fucking
I would put it in don't think about it as well. Like no one wants to
Yeah.
be stuck in
Yeah.
a time loop.
Same reason for the other one,
Yeah.
honestly.
And last, but well, we'll see if it's least or not. We have Fractal Existence. Now, I've used an image for this. You can see there are a lot of turtles standing on top of each other. And this is in reference to the phrase "turtles all the way down," which is a way to describe basically. There was a psychologist in the 20th century. I think he was American. He was called William James. And he was interviewing this woman about how she believed the universe works, and she said that it was all on the back of a giant turtle. And he said, "Okay, well,
Oh,
you know, what world does that turtle live in?" And she said, "Well, that's also on the back of a giant turtle, and it's just turtles all the way down, you know." It's yeah, it's sort of like it's like if you let Dragon Ball Z go on forever, you're always going to find someone higher power than you. Like they need to just
Yeah.
introduce greater and greater power levels. I would put it in interesting, but at the very bottom of interesting.
yeah, I guess.
yeah.
Everything sort of like repeats infinitely, like larger and smaller.
I don't know. Isn't that like time loop? Isn't that like the whole time loop
Well,
thing?
this is more like a space loop thing, but it's not a loop. It's like a reflections, but not really. Man, this is confusing. We just talked about like how many of these did we talk about? It's 5, 6, 10, 15 of these in like how many minutes? 23 minutes.
23 minutes.
I guess we can leave the
That's
audience to wrap their
crazy.
heads around it, right? Now, what do we think about this tier list? Looks pretty well rounded to me.
Yeah.
I would want to put atheism.
Yeah, why not?
Where would you put atheism?
Like
Throwtech?
I would chuck atheism.
You would put atheism down here.
Yeah,
Oh, I like where it
it's
is.
just like
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's where
Like-
I thought at first.
atheism is just like the lack of belief. So there's not really anything. It's not even boring. Like because there is no
Like
thinking
it's
involved in
deep
it.
rooted in science.
Okay, you'd put it
It's
down here.
not-
just a belief that's piggybacking off other people's beliefs and like other truths or facts or other other
Yeah.
things.
That's an interesting way to put it. Yeah, it is not a. You're right. It's sort of the odd one out because it's not like a philosophical idea. It is a scientific idea, so it doesn't really fit in this tier list. Okay, now we're happy with the tier list?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Looks alright to me.
All right, in the comments, leave what you think about this tier list in the comments. And
Tell us what we got wrong,
yeah,
please.
tell us. Please get offended as you can. Throw all the slurs at me. You know. and we will
Get
catch you on the
triggered.
flip side. Yeah. Anyone got any parting remarks?
My name's Jeff.
All right. All right. Good chat, everyone.
Swag.
So,